Okay, each candidate will have 90 seconds for a closing statement. We'll start in the order that we drew backstage. Okay, reverse order. Representative Herrod, Senator Hatch, and we'll conclude with Senator Liljenquist. Thank you for the correction.
In 1992, I was in the former Soviet Union, and one day I was out seeing individuals. I was observing, and I saw two children selling biscuits on the street corner, and I saw two police officers harassing these two children. And I thought, this can't be possible. This is what this country needs, the entrepreneur spirit. And sure enough, they arrested these two 14-year-old boys. And I don't know what I was thinking. My father, who's in the audience, says I wasn't thinking, but I was just mad. And so I followed them. Sure enough, they arrested them, and the next thing that I knew, I was picked up by 3 police officers and shoved into the police station. They must have thought I was the biscuit pimp, that I was in charge of that. But I was upset. I saw constant abuses in the Soviet system. But at some point, I realized that I could not solve all the problems. But I made a commitment to myself that if I ever saw those problems in this country, I would stand up. I took some comfort in thinking that I would never have to honor that commitment. But ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that we live in the day when we have to pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Abraham Lincoln said, to sin by silence when they should protest makes cowards of men. I promise you, if you send me back to Washington, I will not be silent. I will stand up for your rights, your inalienable rights, and the rights of the state of Utah. God bless the United States and the great sovereign state of Utah. Thank you.
Look, this is definitely going to be my last term. No, it is going to be my last term. I've committed to that, but it's going to be the best doggone 6 years you've ever seen. I'm doing everything I can to elect Mitt Romney. I've gone all over this land talking for him. Mitt Romney is doing everything he can to make sure I get there, because he understands and fully understands how important being chairman of the Senate Finance Committee really is. I'll be the first Utah chairman in over 80 years. And it will make the difference in so many ways. I guarantee you this, they'd never stop Hill Air Force Base. I wouldn't let it. In that position, they wouldn't dare take me on. Make a long story short, that committee is where 60% of the spending is. That's where this overspending is. It's where Obamacare is, and nothing gives me greater pleasure than to send that to Mitt Romney, the repeal of Obamacare. That's where these entitlement programs are. Those entitlement programs are eating us alive, and they're not going to be there for our kids unless you have a chairman of that committee who knows what he's doing and does it right. I have to tell you, that's where the balanced budget is. There are so many things that are in that committee. That's why Mitt wants me, besides being my friend. The fact of the matter is,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being delegates. Thank you for doing your duty to vet the candidates. You know, I got involved in politics because outside of my family and my religion, there are 3 real passions of my life: economics, the law, and business. I fell in love with economics when I received my undergraduate degree from BYU, magna cum laude economics, and taught the principles of economics 5 semesters as a TA. Loved it. I studied law at the University of Chicago Law School, where I learned a love for the law. I didn't practice law and fell in love with my third love, business, when I went and worked with Bain Consulting. I went into Bain, you know, Mitt Romney fame, you know about it. What it really does is it goes into things that are broken and fixes them. I worked on an airline turnaround, railroad car manufacturing, huge distribution companies. I later left and worked in the Fortune 500 world doing similar work with affiliated computer services. I know business. I did it in the legislature. I used my skills to drive the 2 reforms that no other state has done that will make this state in good standing for 30 years. But Washington needs a turnaround team. And I want to be there. The great debate for this country is going to happen in the next 10, 15 years. It is going to be around entitlements. It's going to be around spending. And I think I can lead and make a difference. God bless you. Thank you so much for coming. And God bless the United States of America.
I would like to thank the candidates for being here tonight, and I'd like to remind the media to go to the Little Theater for time with the candidates while the candidates go backstage, and they will be available out in the lobby in 15 minutes after they're done with their media interviews to answer your questions.